We're going to call to order the December 14th, 2022 regular meeting of the City of San Ramon Parks and Community Services Commission. Let's go ahead and stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Very good. Madam Secretary, can we have the roll call, please?
Commissioner Oslin,
Present.
Commissioner Breed,
Present.
Commissioner Mitra,
Present.
Commissioner Lopez Lucy, absent. Commissioner Ellicott Pesic,
Present.
Student Commissioner Gupta,
Present.
Vice Chair Dorlick,
Present.
Chair Keniston Lee.
Here.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to go to item 4, special items and announcements with item 4.1, recognition of the Teen Council Outstanding Teen Citizen for 2022, Fatima Hussein. And presenting will be
I will be
our student
presenting.
commissioner.
Yep.
Very good.
Would you like me to go up there to present or from here?
Wherever you want to go.
Also, I'm wondering if Fatima's in the room. I was told that she'd be here today.
Fatima here.
See.
Well, we still want to hear about her, so maybe
Okay.
then you can just.
I might
Stay.
suggest you could reorder it and see if she's going
Oh,
to.
do you want to do that? Okay,
Yeah,
that's a good
sure.
idea. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay.
How about we hold off on that? Let's go to 4.2, introduction of new employee, Jessica Pinedo Prieto. And Kathy gets to do that.
I am going to do that, but I'm going to make Jessica come stand up at the front just to start out. Because we're so very happy that we have our new employee, Jessica. And I know this feels counterintuitive, Jessica, but you can face these guys this way. It feels weird, doesn't it? You're right.
Yeah.
But that is.
Or she can spin. No,
No.
I'm just kidding. No.
All right, we've had a little too much fun now.
Too much
All
fun,
right,
yeah.
So I'm pleased to introduce our newest full-time staff member, Jessica Pineda Prieto. Jessica joined our team on July 18th as a recreation technician. She began her career in 2014 with the city of San Leandro, also a city I worked for. During her time in San Leandro, she coordinated various youth programs, including youth sports, day camps, community special events, and managed the citywide field rental program. Jessica received her bachelor's degree from Holy Names University in business administration. And in her spare time, she likes to spend time with family and friends, being outdoors and traveling. Since July, Jessica's already had a huge impact on the department, both with the senior programs, establishing a positive relationship with all of our seniors, volunteers and instructors that are at that facility. She also has been successfully overseeing our community gardens program at both the North and South garden sites. And she's also was a part of the group, my team, who brought back our community tree lighting event that took place earlier this month. A little wet, but it was a fabulous event. She played a critical role with the October Open Space Advisory Committee hike, being the city representative, assisting the committee members and as they went through Monarch Trail Loop. And in the 5 months, Jessica has been working with the city. She has quickly become an important part of the facilities team and our whole department team. So I'm very
great.
pleased to introduce
Yay.
her to all of you. And so Jessica, to help you out, there's a microphone right there.
Yeah, if
and you
you'd
can
like to
a
say
few words.
anything.
Well, it's been an amazing 5 months.
It's been great working with the team I work with, and I'm super excited and grateful for this opportunity to serve the San Ramon community. And I look forward to the amazing adventure that's ahead of me. Thank you, guys.
It sounds like you've hit the ground running, and I'm sure the other commissioners join me in welcoming you. We, as you probably know, we take great pride in our staff. They're an amazing group of folks. So it sounds like you're fitting right in. So thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome, Jessica.
Super excited. Thank you.
Okay, great. Let's move on to item 4.3, temporary employees. I'm excited about that of the month for November, our senior nutrition program assistants. And I believe, is Susie here? There's Susie. Susie Chow, our recreation coordinator, gets to introduce this great topic.
Thank you. Thank you, Chairperson Keniston Lee and Commissioners. It's my pleasure to be here this evening with our senior nutrition program assistants, who have all been essential in the success of our lunch program, Cafe Costa. Beyond just serving a lunch. All of these staff truly care about and interact with the seniors at the senior center daily, taking time to see how they are doing and making sure that they get a nutritious meal. Just a little story time. We have a 95-year-old male who comes to the senior center. He lives by himself, and he started coming into our lunch program more recently, and we don't get a lot of gentlemen, so it was great to see him. And he started to make this a habit, and he comes every day, pretty much Monday through Friday. He's really a staple of our program, and it's really given him an opportunity to get that social connection with others that he sees each day and welcomes at his table. And when he comes in the door now, we sort of light up because it's like, hey, it's so nice to see you. And he lights up, and, he's kind of become a staple at our lunch program. And, really, I credit these ladies in terms of, they are what makes him want to come back and to be part of the program and have that social interaction every day. And otherwise, what might be a little bit more of a lonelier, time for him. So beyond the meals, they also ensure that the volunteers that support the program are well trained and able to assist. They ensure that as a team, they provide great customer service, and they keep those volunteers active and engaged, because we do use a lot of volunteers there. And they provide coverage for each other in a seamless manner. You couldn't have a better group of ladies that to work with. Due to the dedication of Maria, Gigi, Angie, and Rita, the average Cafe Costa attendance has increased from 4 seniors per day to 20 seniors per day over the last 18 months. So that's a huge step in the right direction for the program. And we're just so lucky to have them there. So the City of San Ramon Parks and Community Services Department would like to take this opportunity to say thank you to Maria Boucher, Gigi Meritz, Angie Roncagliolo, and Rita Shu for their dedication in providing excellent service and making a difference in the lives of those that visit the El Costa Senior and Community Center.
We're only doing 3. Yeah, because she's not here, but Angie's not here. So we're Vice Chair Dorlick and I are gonna travel down and give you these exciting mugs and some certificates. But I do want to say, this is a near and dear award to me, because I had an opportunity for several months to volunteer serving meals at the cafe with these ladies, some of these ladies. There have been different ladies, but and I feel like in terms of providing that nutrition, that touchstone, and that companionship, this is huge. It's so much more than just serving a meal. And Angie, if you have never met Angie, right? Okay, so there you go. But Angie, it's like if you're a city and you're lucky enough to have what they call a fixture in a program, a fixture is somebody who's been there a long time, maintains that level of enthusiasm and capability and confidence through and inspires others to volunteer, right? Angie is that fixture.
Yeah.
And so I wish she were here so that we could thank her personally. But my cohort over here, Vice Chair Dorlick, and I would like to give you some certificates. Yeah, and we would love to hear from you guys too. So.
Definitely. And I'm gonna take a picture. So step out of the way.
There we go.
Wow.
This
Thank
is
you
not
very
just
much.
a big cup of coffee, it's a little cup of soup.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you guys are gonna make me do it. It's just been a real pleasure to be at the senior center. I have a little bit of experience having done this for a number of years. So when COVID finally was over and I walked in the door and said, okay, put me to work. It's a wonderful group that we have working together and getting to know that people are getting a warm, nutritious meal, having that social interaction and creating friendships make it all worthwhile.
Yeah.
I just want to say, I used to work for Mervyn's, and when Mervyn's shut down in 2008, I had to do something. So that's when I came to the senior center, and that's where I met Angie. And she forced me to run the front desk. And that wasn't my thing because I was in HR there and I didn't want to do that. So she said, come to the kitchen. And that's what I did. I went to the kitchen, loved it. It's been 15 years for me. I volunteered for 5 and have been working, for 10 years with the city. And I just enjoy it so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Maria, did you want to say something?
I started volunteering last January after retiring from my work of 26 years, and these ladies are absolutely amazing. I look forward to being there. I was just, when Angie mentioned getting a part-time job here, I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. But it's like, I still can volunteer and I love it. It's like, if I could do it 5 days a week, I would. They're just an amazing support system. They were there when my mom was sick. And we're all there for each other at all times, as well as all of the diners. I mean, they're absolutely amazing to hear their stories and everything. And it's a pleasure just to be there every single day. And thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, so before we circle back around to the Teen Council Outstanding Teen Citizen Award, Kathy, oh. Sorry, I forgot about the photo op.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's okay, you're not running anymore.
Kathy, do you have some announcements first before we go to the last item on that subject?
I do.
Okay.
And I understand that our teen rep will be here by 7:30. So we may
Okay.
need to rearrange a little bit more,
A little
but
bit,
we're real
okay.
close. I have a few announcements though. So I wanted to give you kind of all a heads up that we will be providing an update on the master plan progress from last year at the January commission meeting. So if find yourself with some free time over this holiday season and you want to refresh your memory about what's in the master plan, it is located on the city website under Parks and Community Services. On the left-hand panel, there's the menu. It's about the fourth one down. So you can get an electronic copy, take a look at that master plan. And then when the packet comes out, it'll have everything that we have been done in the last year, kind of the top things.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know. Yeah, absolutely. Also, the Doherty Station renaming and facility room renaming will be coming to the Parks Commission. I think it's the Facility Committee at the end of January, but in order to be prepared for that meeting, staff have popped the website up to start gathering feedback from the community on their ideas and thoughts. So we'll have that information. I just tell you so that if you'd like, you can go online and add your thoughts to that too, but it will all be coming to the commission in January. So you're not surprised by that. A quick reminder on commission attendance. So just to make sure everybody's on the same page, you can't miss more than 3 meetings in a 12-month period.
Mhm.
It's a rolling 12-month period, which makes it more complicated. If you're not certain where you're at, Christy is the keeper of that, and she can easily send it to you anytime you would like. When you do end up with 3 absences in a 12-month period, the issue is referred to the policy committee of the city council for consideration. And that's just what's in our bylaws, and that's the system that it goes by. Certainly, if there's a family emergency or a medical issue that's taken into consideration by the council, but just want everyone to be aware because a few people have gotten up to 2 absences. And so want to keep an eye on that for everyone. And then another note, the front counters will be closed the week between Christmas and New Year's for the holidays. And that's what we've done every year. So that's not new for us. We will have staff working in the buildings, but they'll be on the inside. So they'll just be there. If you do have an emergency, we'll be checking the voicemail messages if someone leaves a message so we can respond, but phones won't be picked up. But if any of you hear of something, you're always welcome to reach back out to me because I'll have my cell phone, or Jessica Reber is a supervisor who will be on site. So just so you're kind of aware. And then lastly, as if that wasn't enough, we have a few events to mark your calendars for still coming through this holiday season. So on 12/16, the San Ramon Symphonic Band Holiday Concert. If you have never heard them play, their holiday concert is their best. So really fun. On 12/17, they're going to be doing holiday cards at Fun on the Farm. On 12/18, the San Ramon Community Chorus does a charming concert along with some of our dance classes. And just to give you the preview, once we've made it all the way through the holidays, that first Friday in January 1/13, the San Ramon Arts Foundation will be kicking off with their first Friday Forum film, The Devil's Backbone. So
Where will it be?
that will be at the Doherty Valley Performing Arts Center because the Front Row Theater is closed right now.
Yeah.
So it will be in a bigger venue, plenty of space,
Mhm.
but it'll be kind of exciting. So
I think-
there you go.
Okay.
Those are all my announcements.
Okay, so we're still waiting for our award recipient, right?
Yeah, I don't see her
Okay.
yet.
All right, so we're gonna move that along. I'm gonna ask though, Madam Clerk, do we have any public comment at this time? Okay, is it comment card? Is it online? Okay.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Well, first of all, I really want to thank all the volunteers for the senior center. I was there a few times participating in the meetings. People there are just so warm and so nice. It's really a very friendly and a very enjoyable environment because of these wonderful people. So as a resident, I just want to thank you all for making that building so nice. Not only is the building nice, but it's even nicer and more desirable to be there because of you guys. You guys are really what makes it warm and welcoming. So thank you so much. And I want to ask Ms. Hyman to please consider a suggestion because I've been participating in some senior activities. I really highly recommend that if it's possible, that you can print out those master plans and those like East Bay Regional Parks paper documents or whatever, put them in a binder, put them in the senior center library, and so then you can refer people to go over there to read them. I am beginning to have pain in my hand because I'm constantly reading electronic files on my phone. I don't have money to buy a computer laptop, and I don't have a computer printer to print things out. All I have is just my phone. And I'm pretty sure a lot of seniors probably share my pain or that even have less technology than me because, you know, not everyone has the same powerful iPhone, or let's just say every iPhone can have different IQ. So it would be really nice that you kind of look out for each for the seniors or the less affluent people by making sure that they have physical access to information and documentation as well. But before I forget, I want to thank you all for all you do. You are really like the heart of our city. What you do truly is, you know, what hearts do. You make people feel good and desirable and cared for, welcomed. So thank you so much for all you do. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Okay, so we are going to, any other public comment? Okay, let's go to item 5, general public comment or written communication. At this time, members of the public are encouraged to address the Parks and Community Services Commission on any item not already included in tonight's agenda. Comments should not exceed 3 minutes. Do we have any general public comment? We do not. Okay. Item 6, approval of the minutes, 6.1 for the regular meeting, November 9th, 2022. I know you've all reviewed that. I have a motion. Do I have a second? Okay, I think Steve got that second, and I think, okay, he's going to give it to you because that's a high honor. So, okay. We have Commissioner Ellicott Pesic is second, and Commissioner Vice Chair Dorlick is the main motion. Okay, so let's take a vote. All right, motion passes 6-0. Thank you, everybody. Let's go to consent calendar. Do we have any consent items? We do not. Okay. Item 8, commission business. The great senior stuff continues with Steve Cox, our recreation supervisor, getting us kicked off with a senior citizens advisory annual report, committee annual report. Thanks, Steve.
And thank you, Chair Kinnison Lee, and the rest of the commissioners for having me here tonight. Tonight, the action is recommended that the Parks and Community Services receive and approve the Senior Citizens Advisory Committee Annual Report for 21-22 And then to provide feedback to the Senior Citizens Advisory Committee for the 2022-2023 term. It is my pleasure to introduce Colette Clark, who is our current chair of the Senior Advisory Committee and will be giving the presentation on the annual report tonight.
Welcome, Colette.
Thank you. Thank you, Steve. First of all, our senior center our senior center is an essential place to have in the city of San Ramon. It's really, really helpful as our population keeps growing in the seniors. And I want to thank you for helping us. We need to regrow our population because of COVID, and we're having troubles doing that. But one thing that is a real positive is our staff. When you come in that door, the staff greets you, they're friendly, you feel welcome. And that is something that it's not in our report, but I want to tell you, it makes a huge difference. So in our annual report, our Senior Advisory Committee members are myself, Joan Ernst, our vice chair, Richard Adler, who's here as our representative liaison. He's our recording secretary, Susan Chen, Wayne Mortensen, Poren Lind, Velda V. Chick, and our alternate is Sandra March. Every single one of us have been active. We're not having any problems with that. We are still missing an alternate. There are 6 points that are driving force behind the Senior Advisory Committee. One's to provide recommendations to the staff, which you see be a channel for communication between us, the staff, and the senior participants. 3 is appoint appropriate subcommittees, which we haven't needed this year. 4 is to receive input from senior communities involving current and future needs. 5 is advocate senior issues, which we do. And 6 is identify problems of service and recommend appropriate solutions. The accomplishments and actions of 2021-22. We assist the staff with the distribution of the updated senior needs assessment survey. We did the survey. We've had people working on it. It was distributed through the Encore, and all the staff and the committee members getting people to fill it out. We got over 400 responses. The information is going to be coming out in February. The accomplishments and actions from 2021-22 is the review and provide feedback to the staff and the updated senior business plan. We've had an ad hoc committee that got together to do that, and we reviewed it and we collected the needs assessment. And then so again, that report's coming out. But it's been kind of completed on our end. So accomplishments and actions continue with, we give input to the repurposing of the South Garden. And so we took a tour of that in September and we gave them our opinion, and it came out to what we have in mind for making it is make it more usable for the seniors, to make that garden somewhere where we can actually go in and use it. So, and we gave that feedback also. We accomplished actions to have the Senior Advisory Committee members volunteer at the desk. And most of us did that. It's what we found is the desk is our entrance. That's where people come in. And we found that it was very important because it was our first hello. And it gives us as senior advisory a perspective of the amount of seniors who are coming in and all the different levels people are on, whether they're ambulatory or they're using walkers or wheelchairs, or whether they're 55 or 80 or 90 years old. It didn't matter. You see it, them coming in the front door. And you get greeted by the people coming in from the van, which is a big mass of people at once. So we visited the local assisted living facilities to better understand their needs and how we, the Alcasa Senior Community Center, can provide complementary services to enrich the lives of the residents. We found that in some of those places, the senior populations didn't have groups that that gave them recreation. So we tried to talk, we brought it back and told them, the staff, what groups weren't doing that. And so we can try to pull them into our community and help them enjoy San Ramon because it's a wonderful place to live. We met with other Tri-Valley Senior Advisory Committee representatives as one of our accomplishments. And these visits made us aware of how essential it is to have a supported and an active senior center. It makes us grateful for what we have. And this year we reached out a little bit further rather than just going into San Ramon, Dublin, the Tri-Valley. We reached out further. We went out as far as Concord and down to Mountain View. And we'll be continuing to visit these others and giving you those back. So those are our accomplishments this year. Most of ours was done on Zoom and now we're in person and it's very helpful. We have subcommittee liaisons. All our members attend. Some of us were doing it through Zoom, but now they are live and we have a person who goes to our city council and Parks and Community Services Commission. In fact, Richard is here for his turn here. We go to the Planning Commission, the Transportation Advisory Committee, the Teen Council, Library Advisory Committee, Housing Advisory Committee, the Senior Foundation, and the Senior Outreach Committees. And we have, we attend them all and we make reports back with our opinion of what in that meeting affects us as seniors. So our goals and objectives have been set for 2022 to 2023. Number one goal, collaborate with staff regarding best practices to highlight and celebrate the significance of seniors in San Ramon during National Senior Center Month in September. The resource fair and this kind of congeal, they kind of go together. There's a good match and it was really good for that goal. Hopefully we can continue that one. Research and number two is research and suggest new modern variations of events and programs for the aging population, including newly retired and working individuals 55 plus. We also identify and suggest activities. We work with the staff and the staff is very supportive of our ideas. And we've gotten a few new things started this year that we didn't have before or that were put away for a while. And so we're very pleased with that too. Number three, conduct an annual goal setting workshop where previous committee goals are reviewed and new goals are recommended in preparation for the committee's annual report. That'll be coming up in 2023 when we get our new group who will then do our goal, our new committee. Number five, we're continuing with goals and 5 and 6 from last year. 5 is visit local assisted facilities to better understand their needs and how the Alcosta Senior and Community Center can provide complementary services to enrich the lives of the residents. And number 6, meet with other Tri-Valley Senior Citizen Committee representatives in order to share ideas and best practices. We're only now seeing the people. Oh, did I miss number 4? Sorry. Number 4 is one of our more important ones. It's work with staff to develop a new member orientation for new senior advisory committee members, which includes a tour of the Alcosta Senior and Community Parks and Gardens. We found in the past we weren't getting the orientations that we needed, so we introduced that as a goal. We're only now seeing people coming back to the center, so these goals and our open communications with staff and the seniors is even more important. So we thank you for offering us so much support for our 55 plus community. Without the support, we wouldn't be continuing to grow again. I mean, an example of growing is you see it at the lunches where they've gone from a small table after the pandemic, like they were saying, to today we had 5 tables. So yeah, it's great. So thank you.
Thank you, Colette.
Questions or comments?
Okay, so I'm going to open it up for clarifying questions from the commissioners. Let me go to my little speaker screen. And Vice Chair Dorlett, would you like to ask a question?
Yes. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
So I noticed that the Arts Advisory Committee wasn't on the liaison list. Was that just a miss? at the Arts Advisory, there was a senior advisory person.
Good eye, Will. And yes, that was a miss. So we'll make sure that gets added
Just wanna
back.
make sure-
We should
yeah,
have a
that's
representative.
Valuable voice to have in the community regarding the art and, some of the programs and it's.
A library
Thank you.
person did them both.
Okay, Commissioner Mitra?
Yeah, the first one was our advisory committee. I noted down that one as well. But I have a couple of other questions or maybe clarifying thing is like, we said that you looked at the community garden,
Yes.
and there are some advices. I don't know if this is scope of this meeting to discuss about that, but I will definitely be interested to hear that later at some point, maybe. What kind of we are planning there.
The special meeting, the senior advisory committee did a walkthrough to first kind of understand the scope of what the South Garden looked like, and then provided that feedback back at that meeting. So it was a public meeting. And it has that information. We have not brought it back to the senior advisory committee as of yet, but that is something that we could do for the future. We would have to summarize that feedback from that meeting.
And the other one is, I think there are some pretty damn impressive goals setting. So really, I was really impressed on that kind of reach that you guys are thinking about advising, not only advising, but actively think. And I really liked one of the action items that you have committee member to sit on the hello desk, welcome desk. I think that is a real life learning. That is a good thing on that. I'll also be interested to learn a little bit more, maybe what you learn from other community when you meet them.
Yes.
On that. So again, I don't know if this is the scope of that, or maybe we can do that. That'll be interesting to think, what did we learn? Is there anything specific that we learned from them that we can implement here?
Yes, that will be coming up in our February meeting.
Okay. Okay.
We've all submitted our reports to Steve, and he's going to summarize them and rewrite them and tell us what everyone found.
Okay, great. Thank you.
So yes, that will
Thank
be
you.
coming up in February. Make sure you get it.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Breed?
First of all, thanks so much for the report. That's great. Actually, my question is more for Steve. Sorry. Steve, I've two questions. One question was two parts. Actually went through the master plan and tried to see where the senior center ties in. And so there's two things I kind of found is, and I don't know if it ties into the report. So you say, Steve, we're working on it. But one was, which is 3.1 is increase senior program offerings by adding 1 or 2 senior programs a year that focus on wellness and sports. Are we doing that?
That is one of my goals, is to
Okay.
Continually add programs that are in demand for seniors. I know that, and Colette has been always very passionate about making sure we're meeting the needs of our seniors. And so we are working at it. We have introduced new fitness programs at the senior center this year and continue to do so. We're also looking at adding new enrichment programs as well.
Yeah, what threw me was a wellness and sports. So I thought the sports was an interesting one. So I just want to make sure we're, kind of following the master plan. And the other thing I found in here is talking about transportation, like how do we provide transportation to our community? And I kind of read it as seniors also, which was how do we coordinate with the Metropolitan Transportation Authority in Central Costa County? Do we work with them to provide transportation for the seniors, or if not, what type of transportation do we provide for our community and how often is it provided?
I can speak to the level that we have, and then I can probably defer to Kathy a little bit more for the greater part of that. We are in communications though, with example, the county, and what services to make sure we educate, our seniors on what's available to them. And then what we offer at our own senior center is our daily van service, where we offer Tuesday through Friday a pickup and drop off service to San Ramon seniors to come to our facility, partake of the facility activities and programs. And we also have a bi-weekly or 2 to 3 times a trip that we provide to seniors in San Ramon that takes them somewhere in some kind of locality. We call it the lunch bunch trips, where they can go out and usually it's a dining experience. I know we've tried to introduce other experiences as well, whether it be museums or small walking experiences as well. So with that, I might defer to Kathy a little bit more on the greater transportation question, though.
Absolutely. So I think some of you are aware, but we have there's a program that the city helped sponsor along with Contra Costa. I'm going to get the bus. Thank you, County Connection, voice from beyond, which is called Go San Ramon. And that's on-demand subsidized Uber and Lyft rides for seniors. And so we've done a lot to advertise that, push that out and communicate that. And we're still constantly doing that. So that's one opportunity that seniors can get a lift that way that's subsidized. In addition to that, Becky and her team have reached out to County Connection and their paratransit program and are asking them to come and do a seminar and do some screening of people right at the senior center, since we're at the far end of the county and it may be harder for our seniors to get there. So that's another way that we're moving in that direction. And then, as you all know, Chris Weeks is our transportation manager in the city, and he is the main contact with some of our bigger transportation issue and our bus routes and trying to increase bus routes. And so we're constantly in contact with him and advocating to make sure that we get those routes that get the seniors where they need to go. So we're actively working on that and working on some other solutions to try and continually find better ways for people to get to us.
A follow-up question.
Of course.
So I think Steve said Tuesday through Saturday, Friday.
Yes, we did. We don't have Monday service right now.
Read my mind.
What?
You read my mind.
Yes, it's fine. Last year during the budget, we ended up needing to reduce that.
Okay.
The number of riders that we have on Mondays had decreased down to really at that point in time 2. I think we've got now 3 people that might take that. So the senior bus service is already extremely subsidized. So we pay a lot to do that, which is great. But when we only have 2 or 3 riders, the subsidy comes closer to $1,000 per person for the year, which is high. And it's just not as responsible for us to spend the funds in that way. And so we reduced the Mondays until the numbers come up a little bit higher. It was always our intention to review it at mid-year, which we will be. And it's always was our intention to bring it back next year at the beginning of the budget year. But coming out of the pandemic, there was just no one even at the center on Mondays. The attendance was really low. And as a consequence, the Monday ridership was really low and the subsidy was too high to be really appropriate. But we'll be looking at it mid-year and then again at the beginning of next fiscal year.
Okay, thank you.
Good
Thank you,
question.
Commissioner.
Anybody else before I ask a quick question? Okay, so my question relates to city entities like City Council, Parks Commission, who send representatives to the Senior Advisory Committee meetings. Who is officially assigned, who has been asked to assign representatives to Senior Advisory Committee, and do those folks, are they always, I know we're represented. So I know we're good, but City Council, is it Mark Armstrong, I believe, has been going? Do they have a regular attendance?
We have had excellent representation by our elected officials and our commission, it's both online and in person. So Councilmember Armstrong is our lead liaison, and I would have to go back, but I believe he has attended almost
Consistently.
all
Good.
meetings. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
can we
also
have somebody from the Transportation Advisory Committee who goes to the Senior Advisory Committee meetings?
we do not have a direct liaison, although we have a close relationship with, our department. And so we can ask, someone to come out and do presentation, but I would have to
Yeah.
see if that's something that.
And I ask that because we know that seniors have needs, that maybe it will merit presence from certain committees to, merit them having a presence to have that direct connection with our senior community. So I only throw that out there as something to sort of ponder and see where that makes sense, to explore that, because you guys take that time to get together, let's make the most use of that time. So I have no other questions. So I think we'll go ahead and open it up to public comment. Do we have any public comment? Okay, let's go for that.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Hi, can you hear me? Oh, okay.
Yep.
First of all, I'm sorry. You guys owe me the general public comment. You guys just went like, phew. And then I raised my hand and I mean, like, can I be granted 3 minutes after this after this agendized item comment? I really would like to say something that's non-agendized.
We actually have gone through public comment. We've provided opportunities for public comment at every appropriate opportunity, have we not? We have.
No,
yes.
no. You went so quickly. I raised my hand and like you guys just, whew. I think you guys are used to physical comment cards, but you know, like I don't believe somebody asked, is there any online or remote comment? You just went, is there any public comment? No. Okay, then you went straight over because I didn't even know that you guys were going to go to
Okay,
that
why don't
item.
we
Anyway,
hear what you have to caller? Why don't we go ahead? We want to hear what you have to say on this one item. Can you do that?
Yes. So this one item, I just want to, first of all, I am so proud of this committee because I've been, meeting with them for the past 3 months, I believe. And they are so impressive. They're always on time and their agenda are always very organized. And as a public, I'm always treated with respect. And the staff is just so empathetic. One time, the sun was in my eyes where I was sitting. And then the following meeting, that area was completely blocked because my eyes were directly in the sun. So I just really want to, give compliment to this committee. And I do want to address a couple of concerns of mine, though. I really think that Transportation Committee needs to have a regular liaison who meets with this who meets with the Senior Advisory Committee. They cannot be absent because so much of what the seniors can do through our city programs rely on transportation. They have to be there. And not only are they not, present at this particular advisory committee, they have been, in my opinion, snoozing. They have not been meeting at all. So I really appreciate Chair Keniston Lee for bringing up that, issue and asking actively if, transportation is participating. And lastly, I do want to compliment Councilmember Armstrong. He really does participate in the meetings. And whenever he's there, he's able to give a lot of insights through his reports to the seniors. So I really appreciate his presence. Sometimes I think the council members may have other obligations, and I don't know how that works. But whenever he's there, he's always a very cherished and a prized addition to the meeting, in my opinion. Okay, so may I go to the general public comment?
We actually have to go to the next section of this, but thank you for your comment. We appreciate it. Okay, so we are now going to open up to our commissioner comments. And let me see who I have. Commissioner Olson, we will start with you.
Right next to you.
Right next to me.
Chair Clark, great job tonight. Great job. And I'm very honored to sit in on your meetings. I really appreciate the conversations that take place and how the meetings are organized. Thank you. And I just want to make sure that we keep in mind we have an isolated population of seniors out there. And to me, that's one of the things that's probably the hardest to break through. But to always kind of keep that first and foremost is how do we outreach to as many people as we possibly can, because we don't even know who's not hearing about this. So I think transportation is a little piece of that puzzle, not a little piece, but a fairly large piece. But I think it's commendable that the committee is also discussing having some events that are going to bring seniors together to socialize. And so I know that that's something that the committee is talking about, and it's going to take place in January. So I'm excited to participate in that and see how that unfolds. But I just want to thank all of you for the hard work and your dedication, and the attendance is usually spot on. Pretty much everybody shows up for every meeting and is prepared to give their reports. And so great job. Keep it up.
Thank you, Gerald. Constantly. Hey, like I said earlier, really appreciate the report and I got to tell you, I think that your goals are really rock solid and love the share and reply, how you're trying to reach out to other senior centers. My personal opinion is I think we have an amazing senior center and our staff does an amazing job and there's a lot contained in there and it's from the remodel. And my feedback is this. As I read through the report, you know, the seniors are such a large portion of our community. If I had one goal through there, how do we increase our population that use that wonderful center, right? How do we get more people to come? How do we invite more people? So, and are there different communication vehicles we need to use? So that would be one, and I don't have the total solution. I've been trying to think it through, but that would be one recommendation I have. And the other idea to do that is it possible? Because a lot of our seniors walk, and then my parents do, and I guess I'm a senior now, so I guess I do. So, but is there possible that we could do outreach from the senior center? Could we set up walks at certain parks and invite our seniors to participate? You know, we could have members of our senior advisory committee and staff out in, out in Windermere or out at sports park and create walk that we get, that way we reach more of our communities versus isolating it all into the senior center. So just an idea of how do we take a service out to the community, whether it's walk with the senior day to try to get more people to participate in the senior center and, you know, just a part of the city. So, because everyone's not as mobile. And the reason why I asked about the transportation was how do we invite seniors and share with them that we can get them there, and, you know, even hearing about the Great Meal Program, you know, just educate them. So, hey, guess what? We have a ride. I think the Uber thing is amazing, but I taught my mom how to use Uber and, you know, it was very challenging. So we just got to make it simple. So that's my feedback, but you guys do an amazing job. Like I said earlier, the advisory committee is awesome. So thank you so much for taking the time to do this.
Just let us know as somebody newer to the committee, how to do it and what's.
Well, I'm just, I was trying to assess what we had with the garden and, are we fully utilizing it? And I was especially, I really wanted to get that connection with the trails because I think seniors, you got the exercise. These are loops that, 10-minute loop or a half-hour loop. And as they get stronger, I mean, that's essential. It's essential for health and it's essential for learning because when you're healthy, you can learn more. So, I enjoy it. I'm just trying to learn more. And that's why it's good that we're going out to other cities. A friend of mine, I just had my high school reunion in Mountain View and he was the former mayor. And so I got a chance to talk with him about seniors. And so I gotten some information. I want to kind of come back and talk to our own people here about what I've found and what, are we doing all this? You know, are we doing all the things that some of the other cities are doing? So, you know, the whole thing is to try to be more, come up with answers, find out what the problems are. And so I am meeting, I'm going to meet on the 26th next month. We're going to have seniors come in. We're going to talk. Wayne and I, Wayne is going to be there, and we're going to, I haven't done this yet. So I'm curious to know what they're going to say, what suggestions they might have to improve what we do. So I'm still trying to figure out what we can do better. And so that's my whole idea, is to try to be relevant. I mean, I don't want to go to a meeting and sit there and like, what did we really accomplish? I want to really do things. And I think we've come up with a good plan to do that. So that's the way I look at it, you know, and how we connect with other committees. And there's so many tie-ins with other groups when you do a trail and everything else. So I've learned a lot. It's been something I've really enjoyed.
So I know all of us will probably going to we want to know that our feedback is listened to. We want to know that there's substance of change, or that we're initiating positive movement for whatever we're doing. And so I felt like it was neat to hear from Colette, and it's neat to hear from Richard and our seniors to find out, do they feel that their participation is important? And certainly the annual search shows that it is, and that you guys are making of it. And I do commend you, because it's tough to come out of that pandemic, especially with the senior population, and have that forward momentum.
My advantage is I've been going to the senior center since I was 55, and I'm turning 69 next week. So I started when the exercises were 50 cents for the drop-in. And I'd show up and they'd say, oh, good, you're number 7. We'll have a class when we reach 10. And now the classes are $4. And before the pandemic, I was taking a class where the class was so full that some people would come in and go, I don't think I'll do that today, because it was over 40 people. So I have the advantage in that I've been seeing the senior center for all those years. And even though I wasn't on the advisory committee, I was active in the center. I told them when we wanted, like, we need to get bands, or we know things that we needed. And I attended the extras that that they offer us. You know, like the.
I think that's especially important, because I think those who are especially working seniors 55 and older, they don't necessarily consider themselves seniors, right? We know we run into that dynamic of seniors and then seniors, right? And so for you to have that perspective, I think can only help figure out how to get more people engaged at every senior level. So seniors and seniors. So at any rate, a couple of thoughts, and thank you. One is, I would love to see us engage our seniors more in some of the city stuff that's going on. Like, and I know that we made some of movement in that picture, but continue to keep in mind, are we referring to our seniors when we're dealing with general plan? Are we referring to our seniors when we look at Parkwood Line? You know, we've got a senior facility going up in City Walk area, right? Well, we know there's a senior facility right there next to a park. Did we engage our seniors in that discussion? Did they have an opportunity to weigh in on that park design? I feel like they have so much seniors, and actually myself, we have a lot of valuable stuff to contribute. So I want to make sure that we're engaging seniors in really relevant stuff for our city, because we are developing a city forum, you know, and we need to make sure that seniors are part of that discussion. And to the transportation point, Commissioner Reed, you know, there will be more things to get them to engage them in. And so we want to make sure that we continue looking at the transportation services that we're providing. Are we getting our seniors moving around this community as well as we can? I think that's really important. I love the fact that we have people like Susan Chen who make our approach multicultural and bilingual and diverse and all those good things. So I encourage you to continue that. I love any program that's multi-generation. I love the art program where the kids, they draw pictures of seniors. I think that's fantastic. Any programs where we can encourage that multi-generational interaction, I think that's fantastic. I wonder, I don't think that you included a copy of the senior business plan in the staff report. Was that there? I don't recall the rest.
It is not completed yet, so that will be the next thing coming.
Okay, so I would like to see in staff reports, having written staff reports, they can be very, they're time consuming, but kind of more measurable results. In addition to those general categories, like which senior centers were visited, which facility, how many meetings were attended, just things where we show the real depth of your commitment and your contribution. I think that would be, and I think Commissioner Mitchell, you may have said that when you do have visits, what were your impressions? Share that with us. What did you guys see? The more specific. I'd like to see, and I don't think we're doing this now, maybe you can tell me. I mentioned this for another program, like senior profiles in the newsletter. I'm a senior in San Ramon. These are the programs I take advantage of. Kind of like a senior profile, because I think people need to see folks in their age group and successfully taking advantage of the programs that we do. And maybe that'll be the thing that teeters them over to take advantage of. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
The senior advisory committee could do that? It wouldn't be the staff.
I think that you guys might be a conduit to
But it would be the
potential
staff.
profiles. But I'll let you guys figure that out. Which is the idea here. The other thing is, I really would love to see San Ramon take the lead on how you help your senior community thrive. I would love to see San Ramon do a senior summit, the San Ramon Senior Summit. Kind of like we talked about and Vice Chair, like at the art summit we are planning, we'll have that at half. I'd love to see us pull community as senior advisory committee members and staff members to come together in a single location in San Ramon to talk about senior issues and how we recover from the pandemic, how we engage our seniors. I think we have a strong enough senior advisory committee and a strong enough staff to pull resources and make that happen. I'd love to see us post something like that. Let me just think if there was anything else. So yeah, I feel like we have an aging population. We want folks to be able to age in place. Your role in this community will become increasingly important over time. It's always been important, as Colette can tell you, but it's going to become increasingly important over time. And I know we all share that view, that we value you. But I just want to say, I don't want you guys to ever feel, not that you do, that you're just sitting in a seat listening to what's being presented to you. I want you to feel like a really engaged, contributing part of this community. And if there's anything that we can do to help you get to that place or stay in that place, but because clearly the annual report showed that you guys are doing some really good work, so we really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you. Chair Kennison.
I'll make a motion that we review senior advisory committee report for 2021 and 2022 and recommend the report
That's what I was thinking.
be
You're good. You're doing great.
be forwarded to the city council.
Second it. Second it. Yep.
Commissioner Major beat you to it.
That's good.
All right, can we take a vote? All right, motion passes 6-0. Thank you, Colette.
Thank you.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you.
Thanks, Richard. Thanks, Becky.
Thank you.
It's a 6-0 vote, a 60 vote.
Then the 55.
Okay, all right, we're gonna go to.
Chair Kennison Lee?
Yes.
Hi.
Don't you do it?
Yes, I think Fatima is here, so I can present the award.
You're gonna take it away with the Teen Citizenship Award, right?
Yes.
Okay, let's do that.
All right. Okay, so good evening, everyone. My name is Arpita Gupta, and I'm the Student Commissioner and Teen Council Chair this year. Thank you for having us here this evening. The Outstanding Teen Citizenship Award was created in 2011, and Teen Council presented the first award during the 2012 and 2013 term. Each term, the Teen Council selects a teen who has made a significant contribution toward enhancing the quality of life for residents in San Ramon during that year. The Teen Council is very appreciative to have two sponsors for the award this year, Realty One Group Today, who has been a sponsor and big supporter of this award for many years, and Patel Co. The Teen Council received 13 applications this year and selected Fatima Hussein. Fatima is a junior at Doherty Valley High School. She has a passion for connecting with community members and creating STEM programs for middle and high school students. As the Director of Education for the Doherty Valley High School Robotics Club, she teaches, inspires, and encourages novice students to become future leaders of the robotics teams. She works hard to ensure the robotics team is an inclusive environment and strives to reduce the gender divide around robotics. With her efforts this year, almost half of the applicants for the program were female. Fatima's passion extends beyond her club at school. She also taught middle and high school students STEM topics such as as a program director with the STEAM Foundation. Students took a 10-week class learning concepts for iOS development, and at the end, they were able to successfully create 2 apps. With the skills she gained throughout this, she created her own boot camp, and this 4-week boot camp taught students in San Ramon the skills to develop their own fun personalized app. Additionally, students who are having trouble with their math at school can stop by her YouTube channel, 2 Minutes Math, where Fatima uploads a quick new video every week, walking students through different challenging math concepts. In addition to mentoring the future leaders of San Ramon, Fatima volunteers her time through the community events such as the Run for Education and with the organization of Pakistani entrepreneurs. Fatima has dedicated numerous hours of her time to helping the residents of San Ramon and making a positive impact on this community. The Teen Council would like to take this opportunity to thank you, Fatima, for all of your dedication and hard work. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for having me. Yeah, my name is Fatima Hassan, and it's such an honor to have received the Outstanding Teen Citizenship Award for this year. And I mean, this is like, I still can't even imagine. Like, I remember when I first opened up the email, I was super surprised. Like, I was just standing there and I was like, oh my God, there's no way I actually got this award. So I was really excited to hear this. And I'm really grateful for this opportunity to gain this representation and gain this recognition for my volunteering efforts. So when people like ask me, what is your motive for like helping out your community and helping out in volunteering services? I usually say, if what I'm doing positively impacts one person or 100 people, no matter what, I will definitely go for it. And my parents have taught me so much about giving back to your community. Growing up, I always see them giving back to their community, giving back to our mosques, and giving back to their family who live in Pakistan. And just having them as such like influential role models, it kind of brought it down to me. And I realized that, it's kind of my duty to help out my local communities and help out the younger generations and kind of guide them into a successful path. So yeah, I'm very involved in like STEM. I do robotics. I do also like a lot of public speaking. So like in November, I was invited to London to speak for like a TED Talk. And then I did like a woman in STEM empowerment presentation to like 200 students at a school in UK. So it was really exciting to see like how my local impacts could also be kind of generated through like impacting at a global scale. So it was really exciting to see that. And I do a lot of iOS development and CAD and 3D printing. And honestly, I hope that this kind of cycle continues. And I think I'll definitely continue to positively impact my communities and everybody else. Thank you.
Did a great job of introducing Fatima. Good job. Way to go. I think I remembered you said at the community awards for the Chamber of Commerce, you said there was a time where you weren't such a big guest, a big public speaker, and you evolved into that. I think that's fantastic. Good job. Good job.
Congrats.
Hi, can you hear me? Hi, can you hear me? Hello? No, not you. Hello? Okay, I think you guys are deliberately trying to not make me speak and then blame technology. This is what I mean all the time. You guys always try to deter public speakers. I can't hear you. I don't know if you can hear me. And this has been going on. So I'm at the mercy of those people who are running the technology program. So can you hear me? I mean, can somebody at least like answer? Seriously. Hi, can you hear me? Can you hear me? I cannot hear you. I'm hoping you can hear me. I think you can hear me because whatever I said, you guys like muted me again, unmuted me again. Anyways, this is what I mean that people who go to city council chamber for public meetings just don't feel respected. Same thing like the city council meeting that took place yesterday. Really, really unfortunate. I just want to congratulate the teen winner for the recognition. I'm sure you're a very outstanding teen, after hearing what they have described you. However, I do want to say though, the introduction of how the process went really takes away from you a little bit because Ms. Gupta said that, there was like, concentration on or focus on gender equity. So one can't help but feel like you won sort of because you're a girl and not really because you are better, you're the best. I'm sure you probably are the best, but because of the way they selected you, people really have to give a discount. I'm a girl myself, and I really don't want to be selected that way. So if it's possible, can we please not make teen councils, all the recognitions, including like the school board, to look like, we only have girls in the city and no boys? Right now, I really feel like this is a sorority. And I understand you guys are trying to balance, gender equity and stuff like that. But can you do it in a little bit more, how should I put it? Like a merit-based sense as well? I mean, you don't want people to think that you are just trying to give, the award that really deserves merit, but it's because of gender. I just don't think that's right. Thank you.
I am. Thank you very much. Here this evening to speak with you about the possible relocation of our public art, the Bronze Eagle, to Memorial Park. It is recommended that the Parks and Community Services Commission receive the staff report and approve the relocating of the Bronze Eagle public art piece to Memorial Park. And I think, as you could tell from my staff report, we've been working on this project for a long time for a variety of different reasons. Kathy kind of warned me when I took over the public art project that these projects could take on a life of their own, and she really meant it. So it's been a great process, though. Just to kind of fill you in, and as far as this project goes, Brian Keith, the artist who is here with us this evening, approached the city on an opportunity for an amazing Bronze Eagle art piece. It's a one of a kind and a great opportunity for the city. When we consider some of our art pieces, we're talking about $40,000, $30,000 pieces, and this is upwards of $200,000+ piece that we're looking at. So it was a great opportunity for the city to take a part in. And so with that, we approached the Arts Advisory Committee at their March 21st meeting. The committee reviewed the proposal for the new public art piece, and the commission commissioned the city of San Ramon resident artist, Brian Keith. Brian is a nationally recognized artist and a longtime member of the San Ramon community. So it's great to not only have a one of our own here helping us with our art collection. One of Mr. Keith's creations is a large-scale eagle with a full wingspan. This bronze sculpture took about 1.5 years work from conception to completion. And as you can see in the back is a miniaturized, downscaled version of what that looks like. And so each mold is unique, and the eagle is proposed for the installation in San Ramon would be traditionally in the brown bronze with a patina over time to reflect that natural beauty of the surrounding hills of our community. So the Arts Advisory Committee unanimously recommended the commissioning of this bronze art piece. And we were looking at 2 locations at that time, and with that recommended it going at Amador Rancho. With that, and then this commission reviewed it on March 14th and approved it as well unanimously. So with this, we've been looking at that Rancho San Ramon location, the phase 2 location as its location. And unfortunately, due to a number of different circumstances, that project continues to be delayed and delayed. And unfortunately, at this time, we don't have a completion date. The developer has not submitted the final plans to be reviewed by the county. And so until we have those plans, it's really uncertain of that completion, whether a lot of things can come into play as far as when that might take place. So we had an original contract with Brian, and that contract expired. We've renewed that contract. Hopefully it would be completed in that time. But once again, it's just the project, the completion of the phase 2 is still uncertain. So the artist had asked for us to take a look. The piece has been completed and being stored. Brian, working with the foundry that bronzed the piece, has been stored for years now. And Brian so approached the city, is there any other locations that we could possibly look into and consider? So Brian and I spent time looking at all of our different locations, parks. As you can imagine, it's a little hard to find it's not like we're talking a little 6-foot, 5-foot wide piece. It is it's a beautiful, huge, magnificent piece. So our locations are kind of limited, and through those resources or through that research, one of the areas that kept coming back to us is that Memorial Park. It's kind of got that feeling of the structure fitting into that memorial setting. And it really just over time, we kept coming back and thinking that was the right place for it to land. Excuse the pun. And so Brian looked at, Brian put together some sketches to give us an idea of what would look like. We wanted to really be sensitive of that space up there as it was created and as it is today, and not taking away from that, but enhancing it. And so really that's what we were looking at with bringing that eagle up there is, once again, we want to enhance that space. We want to improve it. We want to make this piece part of it and really enhance that experience for those events and for that time that we're up there. And so as you could see with those sketches, he's blended it into the existing structure that's there. Those plaques that are on front and that visual are part of the existing one. We're not removing them. We're continuing to make that a part of it. Any of the plaques that are specific to the eagle piece, we would very artistically do it off to the side. So once again, not to take away from that memorial structure that's there. So once again, we thought that was a really good opportunity for us to kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Another pun, sorry, I'm sorry. So, and with this, another plus to this is we're not losing the space that we would have up at Rancho Phase 2. We're going to continue to get that base there. And actually that base that's part of the project will support, clearly if it could support the eagle, any other public art piece that we may want to go in that space. So we would continue to look at that space as a public art space. And then as that next public art project came along, we would come back to the Arts Advisory Committee, back to the commission. Where is the best place for that public art piece? If that's the chosen one, then we would look for a piece that would fit within that Phase 2 park. And I think it's only a matter of time before we get some public art up there, but clearly right now is not that time just because of the uncertainty of the park. And so with that, just for the fiscal analysis, there's no more contribution needs from the city in regards to this piece. The rest of the funds are being raised through private donations and sponsorship for the piece that we're working through the Arts Foundation on, and that's all part of the agreement. And the base would be part of that fundraising source and continue. So there's no additional funding in regards to if we were looking at making this move. And so at this point, I would love to answer any questions you have. We have the artist here.
We had the whole meeting and talked to them, but I thought that would be the question if you have any comments.
I was here for any answers.
Okay, so let's go to questions, and we've got Commissioner Gordon.
I can't see any questions. The staff report nor the selection of the location. Location is as close to perfect as possible. Open Vista, you have the Memorial location. Then you've done a great job, both of you, in selecting the location and how it fits in. I can't see anything in right where it should be.
Michelle, I have a clarifying question. Yes, by all means.
Please.
I just wanted to understand the base and the dimensions. It looks to me like with the fence behind it, the platform is multi-level, couple feet off the ground, and then what, 4 or 5 feet in total, the platform.
Correct. So the platform that you're looking at, and I don't have the dimensions in front of me, but you're looking at 2 to 3 feet on the, and so the piece where the eagle is sitting is the same dimension or height of the bottom layer of that flag structure, which I believe is around 2 to 3 feet. And then it goes up to more around a 4 foot high. But once again, don't quote me on the height of it. That's kind of it. And then it's a good 3 feet wide as far as that existing flag structure. And then, so the eagle piece would kind of set back into that, like kind of like a half moon, if you can envision. So not taking away from that shape, and then would come out from it.
And just in the perspective of clarifying.
Yeah.
It looks very climbable.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I can't object to that.
My question's about something along that line, but more around graffiti and how does bronze, can you clean it?
I'll turn that over to the art. Brian, have you had experience with that?
Because it's bronze.
I'm gonna actually have you, sorry, Brian, come on up to that mic, sorry.
Yeah, bronze is fairly easy to clean. It's metal, so if it be something that needed to be a spray paint taken off, if it was something carved into, again, it's metal, so if we had to fix it, we could do some metal work on that. Yeah, and I'm right up the street, so yeah.
Oh, yeah. So Brian, I think when I was looking at it, I was talking with you about the size. So you said the total wing to wing span width was around 30 feet?
It's the width of it, it's 13 feet wide. If you were to take the wings completely like stretched out, it'd be about 20-foot wingspan.
20 foot.
Yeah.
And the weight? I'm just curious.
About 1,500 pounds.
1,500 pounds.
Mhm.
So I have a question for Kathy. I just want to make sure this body understands what we're looking at. The cost, how we would fund an art piece now, if we move forward with this, how are we going to fund a piece of art for Rancho? I know we have a base, but I know we got, as I recall, we got a considerably good deal in this arrangement to get this wonderful eagle sculpture, right? So that's a good deal, wherever it goes, that we got a good deal on that. And we're very excited about But how do we then, is this something we have to go through the budget process to then get funding for a second art piece that'll go to Rancho? How would that happen?
Actually, these are the happy moments when I get to tell you, you know what? When all these different developments come into the city, they pay into our public art fund. So we have money and we allocate it through the CIP process. So there's a funding source, which is kind of those key terms, funding source. We have a funding source every year during the CIP. If we don't have, like right now, we have a couple projects in the queue, so we would not probably put another one in right away because we've got a library public art piece that we're trying to get situated and the Eagle trying to land. So our staff resources are going towards doing that. The next year, we would probably fund the CIP with the funding source that has money, and we would probably move, a $30,000-$40,000 in there and then start the process of another piece.
So you see funding available in the pipeline.
Yes, absolutely.
That's what I want us to know. Okay, any other questions? I'm gonna open it for public comments. Move to public comment. Let's move over to that. Can you hear us?
Hi, can you hear me? Okay, I think I found out why I couldn't hear you guys. Somebody did not turn on their microphone. Can you please make sure you all turn on your microphone? It's really difficult to conduct a public meeting like this, like where I can hear you, you can hear me. It also doesn't reflect very well on you guys. So I have a very blunt comment to make. I think it's really inappropriate and ridiculous to put the Eagle in a memorial park, because it's like you're cursing the Eagle, and Eagle is our national bird. And it was kind of morbid that some of the commissioners were laughing when the presenter said that, no pun intended, trying to kill two birds with one stone. I'm not trying to kill two birds with one stone. That's exactly the kind of feeling you're projecting to people. I mean, I don't know if it's because our city is becoming more international. So, I mean, is this somebody's idea? Or I'm also a little bit concerned about you're not paying the artist for phase 2. Are you deliberately trying to maybe discourage him because he's not a girl, so you can move on to a girl artist later? I don't understand. I mean, it just seems like there's a lot of loose ends on this project. I would like to suggest the Eagle to move to Doherty Valley 6-pillar character park. I think the Eagle needs to fly over there at the character park that has 6 pillars of the characters that the city has already instilled on the property, one of the parks in our city property, and it will really, really enhance the strength and the spirit of our national bird. I don't really want to see it in a memorial park. I don't want it to die unless you guys want to. Thank you.
This is spectacular. It is absolutely stunning, and it seems like it was designed to be exactly where you're proposing to put it. The view in the background, the mountain, and to me, it's very poignant having it in Memorial Park, where we are about remembering and honoring, and particularly, our nation's founding values. So I can't imagine a more spectacular place to have it. Seems like it always should have been here. It is absolutely beautiful, and I am really excited about it. Now, I do live in the Doherty Valley, so I can't say that I wouldn't love to have it out there too. But this is definitely going to make me want to go visit that park in particular. The one clarifying question I did raise, because I always think about these things, is, will it withstand kids being kids? And it sounds like in terms of paint and other things, graffiti and things like that, it's probably fine. It does seem very accessible. And I'm not physically touching it or viewing it. And so my only question is, and I'm sure you guys have, but just thought about both the safety aspect as well as of, kids being kids. And just protecting it as well. So that's my only thing is there anything that we're concerned about with that? The edges of the wings, what does that look like if, you've got a elementary school directly across the street, I believe. So those would just be some things I would be thinking, but I love how accessible it is. I think it's exciting. The kids will be able to go right up to it. But I would just want to make sure somebody's thinking about the safety of the kids and the spectacular piece of art. But thank you for doing this and thank you for the patience and staying with it. And this is really a wonderful example yet again of, life is what happens when you're making other plans or being flexible. And sometimes, things that don't go well provide a lovely opportunity. And it would have been pretty at Rancho, but that background and the memorial park aspect of it is just wonderful. So sorry for going on so long. I'm excited.
Good. Yeah, I mean, I don't see any other speakers in the queue, but except for Commissioner Breed.
No, all I was gonna say is, I think it's awesome and it fits perfect. And everything Heidi just said, I echo. The only build I'd have on her is as we attend certain events and like we did 4th of July, I think this fits in perfect as a remembrance of why we're remembering the people at Memorial Park. And I think you did a great job with it. I get to umpire up there, so I'll keep an eye on it when I'm umpiring. But I do want to move that we relocate the Bronze Eagle to Memorial Park.
Okay, Commissioner Breed made the motion. Commissioner Ellicott says it is a second.
No, this has been a process that's gone on for 7 years. And while I was on our foundation, we had fundraising for moving this allocated to a location. So 4 years, 5 years, this has been in process. So it's well worth the way you can have where it's going. I guess I would say.
I feel like, I was really excited about going to Rancho, if I'm being honest. I want an art piece to go there. It's too significant a park in our community to not have, and it's such a nice piece that it was commensurate with the size of the park, the fact that it's two-phase park. I could see, there would be no other place that I could see using the two in Memorial Park, to your point, Heidi, Mr. Ellicott, because I feel like it's just the thematic part of it. It just is like you said, it was kind of meant to be. So we've been queued up for a vote. You? No, I think you're okay. You're okay. And I believe we passed 6-0.
Thank you, commissioners. Thank you very much.
We love it.
Thank you for bringing the model.
Yes.
Super cool.
There's no way you could say no. There's no way you could say.
So everybody can have an opportunity to take a look. Any questions? Okay, we have any public comment on this section? Oh, Kathy, did you want to?
I would
highlight
just,
any items?
I'll just super quick. We had lots of Thanksgiving themed events you saw in there. I thought specifically the building staff's giving and training with the planning pod, cultural sensitivity and ladder safety was a great thing. We haven't done that before. Our youth Thanksgiving break camps and our preschool Friendsgiving potluck. So we were just really all over Thanksgiving. The best part probably was the teen center who created the turkeys with the feathers. I mean, it sounds like a grade school thing, but I think they really got into it. And being thankful for their family, friends, and some of the teen center staff. Also in the public services area, some of their highlights, I think, are the painting of the remaining structures at the farm that helps preserve them. That's so important. And so really happy that that happened. You might have noted that the skate park is experiencing an uptick in vandalism again. This occurred last year at exactly the same amount at the same time. Those dark winter months are problematic. And I think, in the springs and summers, there's a lot of people in the park. And we just don't see that vandalism happening. But in the winter months, when that time changes, then suddenly there's an uptick and it's dark and it's cold and there's nobody out there. And we have some of these issues. So what we did last year and what we're doing again is we're closing the park early at 8 o'clock. The police will come and lock the gate. We'll put up signs due to the vandalism. And ultimately, I think we're going to need to come back to the commission and maybe change those winter hours to resolve this issue, because I think we've seen it 3 years running. So, 1 year, one thing, 2 years, we're really in a pattern. Yeah.
Can I ask a question? If it's happening every year on that, can we think about putting a camera there?
There are cameras there.
And still don't know who they are?
Yeah, they're really hard to identify. There's cameras, they're up high and they look down. I think they're trying to get better cameras, but even at that, it's still difficult to identify one teenager from another teenager because you don't know who they are. So you're looking at the entire population. But that's something we'll come back to you with. And then maybe on a more positive note, hopefully you noted the Eagle Scout project at the BMX park. That one was a long time coming, but really great building of a retaining wall and a bench as an observation platform. The young man who did it used to ride there all the time, and his family didn't have anywhere to sit to watch him do that. And so he said, I'm going to do this, and he did it. And it's a really nice project. That's it.
Awesome. Do we have public comment on this item?
Okay. Can I add one more thing? I want to point out, I don't think it didn't make it in time for the report, but there are holiday lights on the sheep barn at Forest Home Farms. So I want to thank Brad and the Public Services Group for getting those up, and they're up there again. So it's beautiful with the painted buildings.
Yay. Thank you.
Okay, so no public comment still, correct? No other commissioner comments on this? Oh, let me make sure I got everybody. So you're good, right? Make sure I was on. Okay, just raise. Okay, let's go with public comment on this item. Speaker, you're able to talk.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me? Okay. First of all, okay, I'm going to be blunt again. Nothing personal, but this is my observation. Last meeting, didn't you guys just approve two teenagers' request to extend the park's hours to, give us some lighting so that they can play basketball? Does that have anything to do with the vandalism that you're just describing right now? So you're the ones who approved that. And now you guys are, suffering your own decision. That's a little bit oxymoron to me. I really don't know, sometimes what is guiding you guys. Sometimes I don't feel like you have a anchor or some sort of light that's directing you. Whenever there's certain agenda, you just sort of approve, and then I'm like, okay, weird, because that's not what you did before, and this is one of those situations. Also, there are two Heidis. I would really, really appreciate it if the commissioners would please address the Heidis by their last names. I know that, there is a Keniston Lee who has perfect attendance score and who is extremely reliable. And then there is another Heidi whom I believe was on agenda for 4 absences and more with special meetings. I really, as a public, I would like some sort of a differentiation between the two Heidis, if possible. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Okay, we're going to go to item 10, Commission Liaison Reports and Announcements. The biggest thing with City Council was, of course, recognition of outgoing council member Sabina Safar and swearing in of Mayor Hudson and Councilmember Armstrong and Councilmember Rubio. So that occurred. Why don't we go down the line? Do you want to start with Team Council? Commissioner Gupta?
Sure, I can do that. Okay, so I believe we've had 2 meetings since the last Parks meeting. So we had a presenter from the Contra Costa County Health Services who gave a presentation on the current state of tobacco retail landscape in Contra Costa County. And I thought that it was really interesting insight considering it was right around this time when Prop 31 was passed. So the information that she presented was really interesting. And I think it'll be pretty helpful for our smoking ordinance ad hoc committee to kind of take that information into account. And then afterwards, we approved the senior tech days. So I think we currently have them planned for February 21st and March 17th. So we're super excited to go out to the senior center and have our tech days. And then after that, we actually approved the 2022 Outstanding Teen Citizenship Award winner, who we also heard from today. And then we have been working on preparing the application materials and flyers and that sort of thing for next year so that the Teen Council is ready to kind of just start with that. Because I think this year we kind of felt like we were rushing it a little towards the end, getting all the application materials and advertising it in time. So I think that that'll be nice for next year's council. And then our social media ad hoc committee has been working really hard to put together a introduction post, not necessarily an introduction post, kind of just like a spotlight post to highlight all of the members that are on the Teen Council. So I believe that's in the works right now, and we're hoping to have that done by January. So that'll be really cool to see on our Instagram account. And then at our last meeting, Becky was there and she shared some of the teen programs information with us. As a full council, we spent quite a bit of time discussing it and giving feedback on it. I think one of the most popular topics of conversation during that time was the AP review classes that we talked about. I think Becky mentioned that it was a future program that they were maybe planning on exploring and doing. So it seemed like there was a lot of interest in that, considering that many teens in high school do take AP classes, and we feel like it would be really nice to have some extra support with that. And we also then kind of discussed times and days to maximize attendance so that as many teens as possible can use those programs and can take benefit and can take advantage of those programs. And then lastly, I just kind of want to end off saying that I'm really happy with all the work that everyone in Teen Council has been doing. I'm super proud with all the effort that we've been putting in. So I think it's been a great few months, and I can't wait to see what we do next year. Thank you.
Hi, I just have one thing I do want to share in general, and that is that I think it's the 53rd or 54th annual National PTA Reflections program is currently running. And we have 35 schools in the district, and the schools participate in different categories of age as well as types of art, from performing, choreography, poetry, literature, paint, etc. And the process is that the students are given the theme each year, and then they turn in their submissions. They're judged at the school site level, and then they go up to the next level, which is the council level. And the council is essentially the equivalent of the district level. So the 35 schools, that's the organization of which I'm president. And after that, they go to the 32nd district, which is Contra Costa, and then California State, and then National PTA. And it's a really wonderful celebration of the arts and encouraging students to participate. Last year, we had a record number of participants go to the California State and National level from our school district, and many of whom from the San Ramon schools. Tomorrow night is our council showcase. So the San Ramon Valley Council of PTA's showcase for the art that has come up to that level, and then will be passed to the 32nd district. We will be at Monte Vista High School from 6:30 to 8:30 tomorrow night. And everybody is welcome to attend. They're going to do a visual on screens of the art pieces rather than having them physically in person. Through the transition, they had them turn them in electronically, and I think at some point they'll actually be physically present, but we're doing the showcase visually, and then we'll have various folks from the school and the communities out to present. I just want to put a little pin right here that I will be potentially lobbying to see if this can be something hosted at the new Arts Community Center next year, which I think would be a wonderful inaugural opportunity. And one of the things that I think would be really beneficial is to include the wider community in it. We always invite the community to the showcase, but it would be really great to have it at a place that is already a celebration of arts. And I think this could be a fun partnership between us, to have that hosted there where we can showcase and invite everybody to come, and then we get to see the community center. So that's a year from now. I'm just trying to I'm letting you know, I might be knocking on your door, and I just love the idea of the city and the school coming together and celebrating the students and their art. So that's what I have to share tonight. Thank you. Very exciting. Alrighty, so I have a report on the Senior Citizens Advisory Committee. They met on December 5th. And on their agenda for that meeting, they talked about the Trail Master Plan update. We had Keith Haas come and speak to us. And we talked about the trails that surround the Alcosta Senior Center and possibly connecting those and just getting some ideas from the seniors. So that topic does come up at the Senior Advisory Committee meetings. And they also talked about having a senior recognition program. So they're looking and exploring ideas on perhaps finding and identifying a senior who attends the Alcosta Community Senior Center to recognize them or to have a feature in the newsletter. So again, they're talking about the things that did come up tonight. So just wanted to share that with you. So that was the Senior Citizens Advisory Committee. And then on December 12th, which was Monday, I attended the Open Space Advisory Committee meeting. And this was actually a tour given by the East Bay Regional Park District. And we went to 3 areas one was in Danville, but the other 2 were in San Ramon, that are trail staging areas one is built. It's Elthworthy Staging Area, which is located off of San Ramon Valley Boulevard and Elthworthy Ranch Circle in Danville. We started our tour there and we had representatives from the East Bay Regional Park conduct the tours for us. And then our second stop was at okay, Kathy, help me out here. It was at the Preserve Trailhead, which is in the Feria Preserve development. And there is going to be a staging area there for 5 cars, I believe, is the parking lot. And that will connect to trails on the south side towards Las Trampas. And then our third stop on our tour, and mind you, this was the day after the very rainy weekend. So it was a little bit muddy and we couldn't do a lot of hiking, but we all dressed for it and it was a beautiful, beautiful day. Our third stop was the Las Trampas staging area, and that's located on Bollinger Canyon Road. And this is not all the way to the end where the staging area is, where the large parking lot is. It is a new site that's going to be developed within the next year. They're getting comments on it now, and it will be right off of the road. And it's going to be a staging area for future hikes that will connect back to where we started. And so really exciting things happening within our community and within our beautiful rolling hills.
I was going to mention, actually, before we go to you, Vice Chair Dorlick, is since Commissioner Lopez Lucy isn't here to talk about planning, the one highlight I will mention is that, as you know, Sunset has purchased the Chevron Park area, and they are starting to talk about what they envision for that space. And I believe I heard from the city manager that there's a website that has come up to talk about their conceptual plan so far, and have presented it to planning and are starting to have those discussions. So if you're interested in that, and who isn't, you can go to the website and take a look at it or watch planning meetings, city council meetings, and it's going to be, I think, a very exciting development in our community. So just wanted to mention that.
What's the website? What's the URL?
I don't know. I'm sure if you go to the homepage, it'll be right there.
There's a link on the.
Yeah, City of San Ramon. So
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
But I'll look for it and send it to you.
sanramon.ca.gov.
Thought it would be on Sunset Coach.
That's on ours.
Yeah. We like to communicate too. Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
What?
Do you have that?
Oh, there was an Arts Advisory Committee meeting. Seems so long ago, it was November. And there were 2 cultural growth grants that were granted. And then they started to work on the annual report.
Nice.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Commissioner Mitra.
No update. No, the library committee meeting was not scheduled for last month, and the innovation technology meeting was cancelled.
Really?
Next round, we're gonna have to assign you one that meets every other week. I think that's.
I'm looking for an opportunity to attend that thing for the last 1 year, so we'll see.
Thank you. Thank you.
Is there actually a technology?
Yeah, thank you for being at the ready. Commissioner Breed?
I am the representative of Teen Council, and Commissioner Gupta and I already gave my report, which is awesome. We could collaborated before her report, so. Nothing. Well, I'm feeling amazing. No, for the other thing I'd put is I do want to recognize the holiday celebration last weekend with the Bah Humbug rates. I think we had like 600 people show up in a downpour. No, I'd have to take a shower. It was a downpour. So, and then the other part was I thought it was well organized. It was safe. And I thought the cleanup was great. And then the following night, I thought celebration of the tree. And I, as I'm waking up early mornings to go past our park with the tree lit, I thought that was pretty spectacular. And I know that's a tradition that we started again. So I want to thank the Parks Commission and Community Services for getting that tradition back going again. So I thought it was an excellent job. So and despite the unique challenges, spirits were high. And I thought it was a really great day. So thank you.
Absolutely. Okay, so anything else? Otherwise, do we have public comment? Okay, let's go to public comment for this item.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, I want to thank Ms. Gupta on behalf of Taiwan's the country. She can't make it tonight. She did tell me to please, put in a note for her at the end if I have a chance, and I think this is a good opportunity to speak on her behalf. She wanted to thank Ms. Gupta for graciously allowing her to participate at the last meeting with the teen councils. And she wishes that Ms. Gold is feeling better. And she's also very grateful to Miss Jessica. She didn't quite get the last name. It wasn't really announced. She thought, but Miss Jessica is what she wrote, for chairing or for presiding over the entire meeting. She did feel very respected. And she walked through the walkway between the community center towards the city hall today, and she finally saw the wishing tree. Unfortunately, a lot of those post-its are falling out because of the rain, and some of them actually did have names on the post-its, even though they're just first names. But you know how teens are very sensitive to like handwritings and the drawings of each other. So she just wants me to reiterate what she has already told you guys, to please be very aware of people's privacy when you, move on your action items. Protect each other and love each other, she said, is what she told you guys. And if it's possible, it's time for you guys to remove those tags because they don't look very good anymore because of the rain. And finally, she said she was able to attend the board meeting yesterday for the oath ceremony, and they did approve next calendar or next school year's board meeting. And she told me she had, and you guys can watch video too, she did share with the trustees that you guys should ask for their permission and also have some sort of liaison with them so they know what you guys are talking about, because we are a community. You cannot act like you are a lone ranger, so to speak. You really need to keep abreast, with proper authorities and jurisdictions of what you're trying to do. So then, nobody gets sued. And then because you're teens, you probably won't get sued, but the taxpayers will end up paying for you guys. And that's not nice. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. I do want to remind everybody, as Kathy mentioned, that we're going to be dealing with the Parks Master Plan. So to enrich our discussion and we're all up to speed, it'll just make for a better discussion if we all review it. And then the other thing is, I believe we have Crow Canyon Gardens joint meeting possibly coming in January. So I know you were gonna send out links to prior meeting discussions about it, because I think that's another one where we need to be really up to speed. It'll be a joint meeting with city council. Kathy, did you want to?
Yeah, we're still trying to confirm the city council schedule for that 125 date. All of the commissioners were available, all the consultants are available, all the staff are available. But I was waiting to make sure that I could send out the
Okay.
information and tell you the date of the actual meeting.
Yeah.
So as soon as it's confirmed, then I will send you the links to all the
Christmas
past.
with holidays with family versus light reading, you guys can decide. But anyway, well, we'll want to make a good showing. So anyway,
When do you think you'll have a current date?
I was hoping that I was going to have it by tonight. And that was my goal.
I'll have calendars that we coordinate.
Well, it's already on the calendar as our fourth Wednesday, right? And
Correct.
it's on, so it's there. And the
Yeah.
question of is it?
Is it solid? Yeah.
Right.
I mean.
It's solid-ish. Yeah, no, I hear that.
On the calendar, but it's
Yeah.
not firm.
Yeah, it'd be really great to be able to have a couple of weeks to read the information. too.
Absolutely. So I will go ahead and get the links out to you.
thank you so much. Okay,
Mhm.
with that,